Hi everyone, it's Vickie Kello, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Brisbane. I'm just finding us on the iPad because they've changed the settings, so hopefully we can bring this up. Come on. Here we go. So I'm using the back camera. I usually use my front camera and flip it. Hi Kerry. Hi Angie. Hi Sue. Happy Monday. So hopefully this works okay. Thanks for sharing, Angie. Hi Sharon, how are you? So, the winner of this week's lucky draw is Megan. So, thank you, Megan. I'll pop that in the post. Hi, Megan. The winner of this week's lucky draw. I'll pop that in the post. I haven't done any post. I didn't do Glenda's either. So I'll just wait for a couple of weeks and then post these out. So they'll come out shortly. But to get into the draw for that, you just need to comment and share my video and you'll go into the running for next week's draw. Thanks, Sue, for sharing. All right, hopefully everyone had a good weekend. I had a fabulous weekend. I attended a class, which was lovely. I don't usually get to attend the class. Usually I'm making the stuff for the class. So it was a creative carnival for demonstrators only, from two lovely demonstrators who organised it all. And I really enjoyed it. Hi, Anita. So that was heaps of fun. I got to make loads of projects. And so one of the things I did was mystery stamping. And I created this card. Hi, Glenda. This is using the new Eden's Garden suite, which is a pre-order for demonstrators at the moment. And this will be available to customers in November. That's okay, Anita. Yes, it was with Alyssa and Pam, Megan. I actually really enjoyed it. So I think I might even do the next one. It was really nice to be a participant for once and just enjoy it for what it was. So it was awesome. So I made this card and I thought tonight I would make a few other cards using this. Hi, Tara. So, yes. So I wanted to use a few items from the suite. So I've got everything. I'll show you. So the suite is this. I'm just trying to get all the items so that I don't miss anything. Stamp set and the gems. Can't wait to get my hands on that suite. Mine came really quickly. I love your card. I love this suite. Can't wait for mine to come. So mine came really quickly, which was surprising, but yeah. So these are the gems. I'm a bit interested because the gems say they're actually cherry cobbler, and which is a bit weird because I couldn't find any cherry cobbler in the paper. But they have a bit of, like when you twist them up a bit, they are a bit reddish. So cherry cobbler and the soft succulent. So that's the gems. Hi, Elizabeth. Now this paper, this is called the cotton paper. That's okay, Judy. And it comes in the soft succulent and the evening evergreen. Now I haven't played with this yet. All I've done is this afternoon, I wanted to see, because when I actually opened it, it's a lot thinner than I had expected. So I wanted to see whether it would emboss. So this is with the Stitched Greenery die, that it doesn't cut, it just embosses, and it's okay, but this is so soft. And then this is embossed with the textured paint embossing folder. So it embosses well, and it hasn't torn. Hi Lisa. How does it stamp? I've heard a lot of problems with the stamping of the image. Oh, it's a distinctive stamp, Judy. So it will have patches and stuff, but it's designed to have that. So this is one color on it. So I've just used, hi Myrtle, I've just used the soft succulent, and you've got darker patches and lighter patches and stuff, but it's designed to do that. So if you look at the image on the stamp set, there are lighter and darker patches and stuff with the distinctive stamp. So that's always going to be a feature or an issue with distinctive stamping. You get the two-tone colouring and stuff. I'm going to try something new while I'm live on camera, which is never a good thing, but I'm going to try it because I've got some ideas on my head. Have you die cut it yet, and how did it go? I have die cut the bits. This bit is not die cut, this is hand cut because there is no die for this bit. But this label is die cut, this bit's die cut, and these leaves are die cut with the foil, and it was fabulous. And I've got some bits here with the foil. I've not cut out of cardstock, I've only just cut out of die cut, out of the foil. I would probably suggest maybe adding an adhesive sheet because this stuff is quite tiny and thin. With this bigger one, you can get the glue dots behind the bigger leaves. My issue with this is it pretty much takes up the whole card front, because that's the size of a card front that I haven't used it yet. I die cut it and I'm like, whoa, that's a bit bigger than I was anticipating. So that's my issue with that. I haven't die cut the cotton paper yet. I've just embossed it and embossed it with the Stitched Greenery die as well. But it held up a lot better than I thought, because when I pulled it out of the paper, out of the packaging, I'm like, this is so thin, I don't know how it's going to go. And it's very fine when you cut it. I think you would need a very sharp blade when you cut it on your trimmer. You wouldn't want something that's a little bit older because it'll probably tear the paper. It feels more like tissue paper. So this is the stamp set. It's got some lovely font on here and some greenery images. And then you get the dies, and you've seen most of the dies now, die cut. You've got this big image. Oh, so your set was okay. Some people's doesn't even stamp out like that. It must be a bad batch. Lots of complaints, lucky hun. Oh, yeah, I haven't had any issues. Hi, Tanya. I have seen it cut with the cotton paper. Cuts fine, but would recommend adhesive sheet. Yeah, because I don't know how you'd glow. I certainly wouldn't want to put seal on the back of this, and after I've embossed it, I don't know how I'm going to stick that down because if you get your seal or seal plus and it gets stuck on that, it's just going to tear it. Hi, Lisa. So you get this bit of a border die, you get this label, you get this filigree piece here, a leaf, and the smaller piece as well. So you get quite a few dies in that. The whole suite with everything, I think, is $144 in Australia. It's available to customers in November. But the paper is just stunning. I have to use some Tombow. I don't know. Hi, Carrie. I don't know how Tombow would go, Megan, because the paper's so thin. I think it might seep through. I don't know. So this paper, Now, I did just order this without looking too closely at it until it arrived, but this paper is a lot better in real life than it was the little picture that we could order from. So it's got gold accents on it, and then the back sides are just plain, but it reminds me a bit of like the Blackberry Bliss Beauty paper. What about normal tape? Yeah, I think it should work. I just find sometimes with the seal, it gets stuck a little bit, Lisa, on some projects, and this would tear very easily. So I'm gonna try tonight because I want to use it in a project. So we'll see how it goes. I really like this backside with the splatters on it here. But I find when I buy foil paper, I really want to use the foil side because I just think it's a waste if you use the back side of it. But I actually like some of the prints on the back side of this rather than the foil all the time. So yes, oh, this reminds me of Christmas. It's a bit like some of that paper we had a couple of years ago that had the cherry cobbler and the shaded spruce, I think it was. I don't know. I can't remember. But it was really pretty. So this is the Eden's Garden Suite, and this is what I'm going to do for my card tonight. Now, I've cut a few die cuts, but I don't have actually too much planned at all. So I need to cut some stuff. Hopefully this is card front size. So did everyone have a nice weekend? Oh, why is it? It's raining, and so when it rains, because I leave my cardstock out while I'm doing it, it's a bit damp and it's bulking up in my cutter, which is frustrating. I did Tanya too. I really enjoyed it. I am looking forward to the next one actually, because I haven't done anything like that ever, and it was nice to be a participant for once. I think I'm going to cut this down. I'm a bit scared to cut it down. I'm going to cut it down see. Now this is just because I'm trying to cut off such a small amount, and it's a bit damp here because it's just rained. So I would suggest you cut before you emboss, but I'm going to see whether this trimmer will work just for a little bit. You didn't get any rain. Oh, it's just bucketed down here, Megan. So it hasn't cooled down any. Okay, so this little trimmer works great. Did the girls say when the next one was going to be? In February, 10, I think it was at 10 to 11 of February, I think. I just remember February. So hopefully I'm going to see whether I can trim up this side a little bit. Can you please hold up your nails? Oh, these are old ones. They need to be redone, Megan. They're purple. This one's Black Galaxy. This has got like a nail art on it, and these have just got black glitter. This has just got black glitter on the back of purple. Yeah. Oh, thanks, ladies. So I'm just using this guillotine to try and trim this piece down now, because the cutter's not really working after thing, and I probably could change the blade in the cutter. Let's make it down to that. That's even. I don't think I've cut that piece straight, but anyway, it'll do. It'll do. So I am working. Oh, hopefully I've got some card bases. I cut my Blackberry Bliss card class over the weekend after I'd finished the retreat thing, and used up all the card bases that I had cut, so I've only got one left. I was planning on making 2 cards. One might just be a card front. All right, so that on there. Now I am trying to do a bit of a sketch challenge. So I was thinking of using that paper because I want to bring in a bit of the darker green. Might do, how big's this piece? I kind of was hoping the rain might cool things down, but whew, it's still hot. It is still very hot. Let's do that. Pretty DSP. This is really pretty. I was saying earlier, Tanya, I just ordered it because I could. I didn't really take too much notice of it, but I'm actually very impressed by the paper. So okay, so we're gonna have that on there. I might trim that down a little bit. Might do that to the 2.5. So I was very impressed. So I want to make this a banner, but I'll get my darker piece of cardstock as well. We don't have the bigger banner punch anymore. How wide's that? That's not wide enough. But I do have, that's wide enough, a bit of a tip to do with the tailored tag. It's quite cool here. Oh, Megan, I'm sweating. I woke up this morning at 4 o'clock sweating. It was so disgusting. And at 8:30 I was having a meeting with some bosses in Sydney, and they're all in jumpers and I'm in a singlet dress. And they're like, oh, is it a bit hot there? And I'm like, it is so hot. At 8:30, it was 27 degrees here. So with the tailored, I think this is the tailored tag punch here. We don't have the banner punch anymore for the wide, punches. We've just got the banner's picker punch. But if your piece is, this is 2.5 inches. Oh no, Megan. It fits perfect, but you can have smaller pieces, but you can't really have wider pieces than this to use the tailored tag punch. And that just then punches out. Maybe it does needs to be, I'm going to trim that down to fit this tailored tag punch. So it would need to be that bit there, 2 1/4, and that would work fine for that. So I'm just going to trim this bit down to 2 1/4 so it fits on there. Make sure, sometimes it's hard to tell with the leafy DSP, whether you've got it the right way up or not. Make sure you've got your leaves and stuff up the right way. And see, I even like that side of the paper. So, bring this back in. I want this like that. Kind of want a little bit of a border there. So what I might do is actually get this bit of cardstock here and put that up there so that it's going to lay flat. Get my seal. Oops. Where do we order this sweet? On the demo place, Sue. So if you log in to your demo site, then it comes up as pre-order right now. Under, like, it's straight up on the home page and all the details come up there. On that, I haven't got any adhesive right up the top there, that's why it's not sticking. Very pretty. It's going to be available to customers in November, but it's available to demos now. And the paper and stuff is just while stocks last. It's a bit like the butterfly paper last year and things, only while stocks last. And I'm just going to trim that down here because I've stuck that on crooked and I didn't want a border at the top of this banner. That's a bit crooked, but it'll do. All right. So then I've got this edge die here, which I was going to stick on coming off that. So I'm going to do the same thing and just line that up with the there's like a perforated edge there, so I'm going to cover that perforated edge bit. I'm just going to trim that off. There. And then now I did cut this. That's going to cover too much of that. Too much. I'm going to need to cut a smaller one. This is what happens when you don't plan anything. I had in my head a little idea, but not measurements or anything. So, is that going to fit? Nope, that's not going to fit there. Fit here. Bring in my big shot, I think. And oh, this one, because this won't take up so much of the room. That is the hippo die, yes, Megan. I love the hippo dies. This is so much better. It's a little bit more in proportion. So even if you don't really like the hippos, I really like the hippo dies because they're all the stitched shapes. And yes, you get the shapes to cut out the hippo and the unicorn and things like that. But even if I wasn't interested in the hippos, I'd still buy this set because I love these layering shapes here and I use them so much. So I'm going to be very disappointed when they go. And then those that haven't seen the how I've done the background here with the stitch greenery, it's a die, but it doesn't cut. It just embosses. So this is really good. And what I really love about this is it's actually made for Australian card base sizes because you can get the whole thing. So a lot of our dies, yeah, it's great set, Glenda. A lot of our dies, like the stitched rectangles and even the scalloped contour borders or whatever that set's called, they're not really made for Australian card bases because our card bases are taller and skinnier than the American size card bases because Americans are shorter and fatter, but this covers our whole card base, which I love. We don't get that very often and I love it. So that's the whole reason I bought this background, was because it actually fits our card bases. Because with the stitch rectangles, I can't use the largest one, and I haven't been able to use that scallop largest rectangle either because I don't think it balances on our card fronts because it's a silly size for Australian measurements. Now, I need some more white cardstock. Here's a piece. Now, the other thing that I was going to try, because I did try over the weekend using our water-based markers to colour in this image, and I didn't like how it stamped then. But what I'm going to try this tonight is adding a bit of different colours with the daubers and see whether that gets me an image that I like. If not, we'll just restamp and just have plain soft succulent. Now, where did I put the daubers? Here. Cherry cobbler is there, and I don't think I've got an evening evergreen, so we can use Pretty Peacock. Alright, so I'm still going to stamp the whole image in soft succulent. Probably didn't need to go quite so heavy on the soft succulent, but get the cherry cobbler and putting a bit of colour on the berry looking things. Just because I want to use the cherry cobbler gems, so I'm trying to bring in that colour just a little bit. We'll see how it goes. And then use the evening evergreen just to give some of the other bits a bit of a, on the edge, a bit of a darker tint. So we'll see how this goes. It could be terrible. Is that the rain of the aircon? It's the rain. I haven't put the aircon on yet. That's not too bad. I think I went a bit heavy-handed with the cherry cobbler, so we might just give it one more go and try and be a bit lighter with the cherry cobbler. That is rain again, Elizabeth. Yeah, I find I've tried doing it sometimes with the water-based markers, and I think I threw it out and I've emptied my rubbish bin, but I hated the result on the weekend, so I didn't end up using it and just re-stamped it. But yeah, I think sometimes with the Dauber it gives it a bit of a softer image and it's not so streaky. So yeah. I like that one a bit better. It's not quite so heavy-handed. So alright, close up these ink pads before I get ink anywhere else. I think this would make a great Christmas stamp by doing like these colours and things like that. And it's not really, like, it's not designed for a Christmas stamp. So it would shock people to have Christmas cards made out of it. But, and then I'm just going to fussy cut this. It does, I was kind of hoping for a die that would cut out this image, which is a little bit frustrating. But that's alright. It's not all that difficult to fussy cut. And I do think sometimes we get a bit spoiled by Stampin' Up with dies that cut out loads of images and things, but yeah. I'm hoping the rain might cool things down. It's really hot. But it's supposed to drop 10 degrees or something tomorrow, because for the last 3 days we've had 30 and 31 degrees. So I think tomorrow it's supposed to only get to like 20, 24 or something. So that'd be a warm day for those of you in Sydney and Melbourne, but for Brisbane it'll be, hopefully bring a cool change. Because usually it's not this hot this early. I'm struggling already. Right, this on that, I might use that on something else. Put this on there. Well, hopefully the border opens soon and I can come back up. Can't wait. It would be nice. She was saying something today about getting to 95%. Like, we just seem so out of touch with all the other states. Like, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it either, Tanya. So, I don't know. I think too much is going on up there. I think that's too big. I think I might just leave it and do, is this Let's Celebrate? No. Is that Let's Celebrate? Yes, Let's Celebrate everything. I think I might just do a bit of a banner here and stamp in the dark green. I might have to get my winter woolies out again. No way, Megan. You're like less than 40 minutes away from there. It can't possibly be that different over there. I find my Evening Evergreen pad a bit furry. That's better. Which is, it's like the old material foam pads we used to have. There just seems to be like little bits of fur on it, which is really weird for the foam pads because you shouldn't have that, but my Evening Evergreen seems to be, have some leftover bits. I think I've stamped that crooked. Let's see if I can straighten it up with cutting. can even notice that even more now that it is straight. I packed all the blankets away over the weekend. Did all the washing of the sheets, packed all the blankets away. Now, I think I kind of want a bit, I don't know whether I want 2 banners actually. I want that in gold. What have I got down here? I have to put another order in because after getting this suite and I've found my gold, I don't seem to use a lot of gold. I have loads of silver, don't seem to use a lot of gold, and I don't have a lot of it. That'll fit there. So I'll definitely have to get some more. Because I don't have very much. I'm down to scraps. There we go, let's stick that down and then I can trim around that. Why it trim the border down? You could have cut it in half to make it fit. I could have. If I had a video on my face, you'd be able to see that I poke my tongue out every time I use this cutter to try and get it in the right spot. Whoops. Knocking everything over on my desk. Right, put these bits in the bin. Let's adhere everything here. So we will see, Lisa, if you're still watching, to see how this goes with seal. Ooh. I think you've just got to be very gentle and with it because it is very thin. You can see a little bit of adhesive through there. I'm okay with that. I think you've just got to be slow and steady. Certainly wouldn't want to use Seal Plus on it. You wouldn't need to use Seal Plus. Will it dry clear? Yes, but you can see it's a bit, it reminds me a bit like vellum. You can see through it whether it's dry or not. Because it's kind of marked the paper because it's so see-through. And so I'm going to pop that up. So this is going to have 2 lots of dimensionals. So thin. Alright, so we're going to stick this on. So, put that on there. And then pop this on. And then these is the sentiment. And do I have a nice small one there? Okay. And pop this one down. And then we'll get those gems, and I think we'll just put that there. And where did I put these gems? I've lost them. Got too many things on my desk. Here they are. So I'm going to use these cherry cobbler ones. Which is why I wanted to add a bit of the cherry cob. Whoa, where did that go? So the cherry cobbler ones come in the 3 different sizes. The soft succulent, oh, maybe they only come in 2 sizes, but the soft succulent only come in the diamond shape ones. There. So, that's my card tonight. I had intentions of making a second one. What time is it? It's 8:40. Oh, what was I going to do for my second one? Right. So that's my first one. My second one, let's do a longer piece, a darker piece of base. Thanks, ladies. Yes, Adrian's going to shut that door so it'll be a bit quieter, ladies. Thank you. Because it's starting to get a little bit loud. Alright, now we need different papers. Oh, it's going to get a bit hot though with that. Megan says thank you, Adrian. Oh, and he's just turned the air on for me. That's even better. We might use a strip of that paper that we just did with the darker in there. It hasn't started here yet. Well, it's quite heavy here, you ladies can hear. It's quite hot too. Yes. He only gets called Freddie by you, Noah, or his mother. So, all right, we're gonna have a long, skinny piece. Here. We're gonna have a short, fat piece, and then this piece is going to be in between. I'm going to have this piece a bit shorter. Alright. Now, I do have this piece. Whoops. It is that way. That way. I'm going to have that go across there this time and the image underneath there. And I might bring in some ribbon. Right, I need to put this paper away and I need to find some more scrap. Some more scrap white. There's another scrap piece. Do you think that's big enough? That might be even bigger. Hi Helen, how are you? Just stamping with the new suite that is available to demos at the moment on pre-order, but customers will have access to this on the, I want to say the 2nd of November. It's usually a Tuesday. It's the first week in November. The whole suite, for those that were asking, I can't remember whether I said it, is $145. That includes the DSP, the stamp, the dies, and the gems. Alright, so I'm going to fussy cut this again, because the dies don't cut out this particular image. Oh, it's so much better since Adrian turned that air on. Hopefully it's a lot quieter for you ladies now too, now that you can't hear the rain. Alright, so we're nearly done here. Throw that bit out. Oh, we need to stamp a sentiment. What are we going to stamp? Let's stamp the sentiment. My heart is tied to yours, tug if anything. Does that fit there? It does. So hopefully that will fit there. We'll stamp that in the darker green as well, in the evening evergreen. It's like typewriter font, this one. I'm using this little trimmer a lot at the moment. It does make things a little bit easier than the big trimmer. I really love the evening. I didn't like it when I first saw it. I thought it was going to be way too dark, Elizabeth, but I am really happy with it, because I really like shaded spruce, and I think that's like a really great Christmas colour, but I think this evening evergreen is just as nice. It is a really stunning colour, and I like it much more now that I've seen it, but in the catalogue I'm like, whoa, that's so dark. Who's going to use that and for what? But I love it. I think sometimes you just have to try it out. And I can see like a lot of the papers that I've bought recently, I am using the evening evergreen side of it, because green is not usually a colour that I go for. I remember a few years ago there was a whole pack of paper that was green, and I bought it for some reason, and I have no idea why I bought it, because I didn't use a piece of it, because I'm not usually a fan of green. But for some reason I bought this paper pad. Alright, let's put this together, shall we? I've got no card front to stick it on because I haven't cut any pieces, because I used all my card bases cutting my class on the weekend. See, I even like this splotchy paper on the back, but when you buy foil paper, I just think it's a waste when you don't use the foil side. Alright, so we're going to stick this on dimensionals. Nearly finished this pack here. No, need to cut them. I'm surprised you're still up, Elizabeth. I thought you would have had to go to bed. I'm nearly ready for bed, and I'm an hour behind. I'm trying to, oh, I was going to stick ribbon down. I am in it. I think that's too long a ribbon, but stick that down. Daylight savings takes me at least a week to readjust. Well, I've been waking up at 4 o'clock Brisbane time because it's just been stinking hot the last like three days, which is annoying me. If it was daylight savings, that would be 5 o'clock. That would be a much more reasonable time to get out of bed, rather than this bloody 4 o'clock business. Totally get it. Alright, actually, I'm going to stick this down. I don't know that there's a right or wrong way. And then I'm just going to stick that on there. I don't want any more height. You need to move closer to me. It's not that hot here. Oh, I think I'd still find it hot. There we go. So that is our second finished card tonight. It needs to go on a card base, but like I said, I've got no card bases cut, so, and I don't even have any of that cardstock out to cut. Oh no, I haven't. I need to put some gems on it. I'm gonna stick these gems on it. These are big gems. I found them a bit hard to use on the other card. They seem to take up a lot of space, and I'll put that on crooked. They kind of look like teardrops, but I don't know, they're just, I'm so used to like round shaped gems, and this is just really hard to use. Alright, so they are the cards, and then this was the other card that I made the other night using this sweet, and I've done it with the soft succulent ribbon here, and then this is with the evening evergreen. Pretend that's on a white card base. Have I got, we'll stick that on white. There you go, so pretend that's on a white card base. And 3 different cards using this suite. So I hope you like it. It's really pretty. And the cotton paper, it is really soft, and it comes in the soft succulent and the evening evergreen, but it does emboss, and it did go through the stitched greenery die cut as well. It just is really quite thin like tissue paper, so you just need to be a bit careful with it, and I suggest cutting it to size before you emboss it or add additional texture to it, because it does tend to rip a little bit, but all good. Thank you ladies for joining. Hope you enjoyed my creations, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.